Uh-oh, Canada, you almost stopped FlightChops from making it to AirVenture. That and more on this special AirVenture episode of Taking Off. Okay, here we are at AirVenture. Things are really starting to roll. We've got the warbirds putting on a demonstration in the background with explosions and all sorts of fun things. This morning, it wouldn't be OshKosh without a little bit of rain, but that quickly went away and everybody's spirits are high. It did give us a chance to visit some of the vendors and find out more about products and stuff. I'll tell you this, the first booth that we went to, Lightspeed. Now, when I was a student pilot 6 years ago, the instructor pointed out his product line and I knew I wanted active noise canceling, and so I picked the cheapest noise canceling active that I could find, and it was the Lightspeed Sierras, and boy, I'm glad I did. It's still the headset you see me wearing as I landed Osh. It's my everyday go-to headset, the Lightspeed Sierras. And so I was excited to go find out a little bit more about the Lightspeed company. Small business. Okay, I've always thought about you and the other guys as being really big companies. Yeah. And I own Lightspeed. I've dealt with customer service and everything else. I've always thought you guys are a huge company.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You know, people in aviation, we are, you know, because it's a smaller category of products, and yes, you know, there's one other brand that we compete head to head with that's a gigantic company, and that's really one of the things that is one of the differences when people, you know, are evaluating their headsets and who they want to buy from.
Standing here, you know, I've talked to you about I have Sierras, and I've mentioned to everybody else I have Sierras, and my braid is starting to get worn after the 6 years. What's the deal with this braided cord?
Thank you for asking about that, and thank you for your Sierra business too. About 6 years ago, we introduced a product and put this cable on it. We call this the Kevlar reinforced cable. It's super strong. It's super flexible. It also conducts sound very, very nicely, and so it's just it has proven itself in the field to be incredibly reliable. And then the other thing is that it's very nice to wear. It's lightweight, and so when you're wearing it, it doesn't have a tendency to get caught up in your collar or anything. It's not necessarily something you think about, particularly the wearing part of it, until you do it. But as soon as you put it on, you're like, wow, this is amazing. So
yes, then brings up my next question. What separates Lightspeed from the competition?
Well, it's a good question, and people ask us that all day long. So we really focus on the things that are different. You know, have people take a look at some of the materials that we use in our headset. On a Zulu 3, there's almost no plastic. The ear cups themselves are magnesium, and the headband is stainless steel, and most of the parts through our sliders are magnesium as well.
Headsets in the aviation community are about as polarized as American politics right now. Mac versus PC, Coke versus Pepsi. Why do you think that is?
You know, I think people get loyal to their brands, right? And you know, same thing with cars and other things too. So yeah, and we're out here trying to work to make people want to be loyal to our brand, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I get a bit of a fanboy here because I'm a Lightspeed guy, so I'm loyal to my brand, but you guys have proven it. If you guys had not had the support, and finding out that you're a small company and aviators that are driving it, to me, that just blows me away, and I'm even more of a fanboy now than I ever was. You guys are known for headsets. Do you have any other products that you guys have been rolling out?
We do, thank you. Yes, we about maybe 6 or 7 years ago introduced a line of flight bags, which we're unveiling here at OshKosh.
So big AirVenture news
yes,
right here.
AirVenture news right here. So the back section can hold an iPad and a laptop, actually, both of those. This little hook, you can also hook your headset into the top of the bag.
Yeah,
right.
Move.
Yeah, exactly. And store your headset that way too, and then have all your heavier things in the bottom if you want to do that.
So I was able to go talk to the Lightspeed people. Now I do want to qualify this and let you guys know I am not sponsored by Lightspeed. I am simply a huge fan. Only the Pateys can make something mechanical look sexy. So we went to the Best Tugs booth, where Mark Patey was introducing a brand new tug.
So this is Best Tug's latest and greatest, the currently top of the line in our product lineup.
Tell me about this new tug that you're doing.
I'm just super excited. We came up with about 200 things we could improve on what's on the market, and I would like to think that just one or two of the safety features and technology functions of this tug would be a reason to buy one of our product over the other choices that are out there. But I think we have a lot more than one or two. We got a lot of things.
Yeah, you got hundreds of safety features and practical features, but you got cool features.
Yeah, well,
You're
why
not afraid
not?
of that.
Why? Look, I actually care what my car looks like. My car would drive the same with no paint, right? But I like a color, right? And why not? Life's good. We live in America. Stuff can be cool.
Okay, most of you know that Garmin came out with the auto land in an emergency and the plane would land, but it's only for brand new planes and not for us, legacy airplane owners. So what does Garmin have for legacy airplane owners? They just come out with something that looks really cool, and it's called the Smart Glide.
Smart Glide is a, think about it, it's technology that helps the pilot in the case of an aircraft emergency. So if you had an engine failure in flight, basically with one button press, Smart Glide can basically find your best nearest airport to land at, start you navigating there immediately. It will engage your Garmin autopilot. It will take your frequency that you would need to communicate to for that tower or CTAF frequency of that airport you'd be flying to, puts that into your standby. It's going to take your transponder code and make, with one additional button press, allow you to squawk 7700 for an emergency. So we're really automating a lot of complex tasks for the pilot in the case of a distressing situation like a loss of power or engine.
And so what do we need?
Yeah, so what you need is a Garmin flight display. Could be a G5 attitude indicator or the newer GI 275 electronic flight instrument, or a larger format G3X Touch flight display, or G500 TXI flight display. We have a lot of variations.
A lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers and a lot of variations.
You're starting to throw X at some of the numbers, right?
But it's really all intended to offer scalable solutions for customers. So we cover a very wide range of price points, so somebody can kind of find something that fits their budget and fits their need. But the great thing is, again, with this newer technology, including the GTN 650 and 750 XI series, we're basically then able to add on additional functionality at no additional cost for customers. So Smart Glide is something that thousands of customers who already have equipped with these solutions can get as a software upgrade. And if they want to install the optional button, they can. But that's $129 for a really nice safeguard button. One button press activates your autopilot, starts the turn towards that nearest best airport, pitches your aircraft for best glide, takes care of the frequencies, and really kind of takes that monkey off the pilot's back of managing an emergency situation.
Kathleen, we all use FlightAware in some way or another. I know I do. I go online to just look at historical flights and everything else, but it's more than just that. Tell me just overall, what is FlightAware? What is y'all's mission?
Well, one of the reasons we're here, I'll start with why we're here at OshKosh today, which is our first time actually exhibiting at OshKosh. And so, but it has many, many features that go beyond and above what a lot of users are used to using our basic or free service right off of our website.
What does this new fee program provide that the free access doesn't?
Well, there's just so many additional features with this. And so let's suppose you have someone in your family, a friend, business partner. You want to keep them looped into what you're doing. And so one of the easiest ways is we have a thing called flight intent. When the air show's over, I'm going to fly back to Minneapolis for the night, okay? So at that moment, like right now, I can send out a flight intent to anybody I want to know that I'm going to be leaving here around 5 o'clock. Maybe I don't take off till 6. Well, you can edit, you can cancel, or just when you get in your airplane, the minute you power up, predictive algorithms that we use with the airlines and with corporate flight departments to say, hey, we're going to change his ETAs now because he's just powered up the airplane. Okay, so you power it up, you've taxied out, all the while it is sending out alerts to whoever you've selected.
Okay, just real quick bullet point, what are the other?
Well, the other great one is the history. So with Aviator, if the day of the flight, if a month later, if a year later, whatever, and I want to relive that flight, digitally I can see the whole flight. But you can also bring out these series of map layers, and so I can show someone, you can have it stored, not just our classic blue background, but you could see satellite imagery, you could see sectional chart behind you.
A lot of GA pilots, like myself, have never filed a VFR flight plan. And so assure me that that's not what we're doing here.
Nope.
And I don't have to close it And I don't have more workload added to me after I've landed.
Nope, you don't have to file a flight plan. You just go through our Aviator system and you just hit, I want to file a flight intent. And
Intent,
it's just within
not
our
plan.
Nope, it's just within the FlightAware ecosystem.
Okay, so Steve, FlightChops almost didn't make it here to AirVenture. A lot of you follow FlightChops. He's been building his RV, and it was a big question of whether he would get it done in time to make it to AirVenture. We caught up with Steve to find out how it all went down. Steve, you went through a hectic last couple weeks here in the run up to this. Tell me about what you had to overcome to get here to AirVenture.
The biggest thing we had to overcome was trying to get the 25-hour fly-off done in time and then deal with the engaging with Transport Canada basically 3 times.
Yeah, I thought Canada was shut, the border.
Oh, no, Transport Canada for the paperwork.
Oh, for the paperwork.
Yeah, customs, that's a whole other thing.
That's another deal.
So just to get the airplane out of the 25-mile radius, okay, so just to fly the airplane, we first had to do an inspection, obviously. In the US, I understand you guys get the inspection, they sign it off and say, go fly.
Right.
You can fly the same day.
Right.
Not us. So you do the inspection, then they take that home, it gets peer reviewed, and then you've got to hope that they get it back to you in some reasonable amount of time.
And then you can fly the 25.
Then you can do your first flight.
Holy cow.
Then you can start your fly off. So for us, that was stressful because we did the inspection, we passed, and then he said, cool, okay, I don't know, should be a week or 2. We're like, what? Like, we're so tight. We did the first flight. We got it done fairly quick. I think it was 10 days to get that paperwork. First flight was June 23rd. And I had to have it here on July 22nd, so I had less than 30 days from first flight to get it here. So our first flight, we had a couple snags. Obviously, it's almost impossible not to. So then we had to fix the snags and get going again on those 25. And then we were up against the clock because after the 25, then we can apply for the actual cert of airworthiness that lets us leave what we got was the 25-mile radius limit. So I'm screaming into the pattern at $170 and then trying to slow down on base, get it configured for landing. So I never practiced patterns because we didn't want to do any low power setting work, right?
Right,
keep the engine
breaking
hot.
it in, yeah.
So we didn't see oil consumption come down until this trip, really. I started seeing it finally.
Did you ever imagine that it would become this big of a deal? I mean,
No,
did
of
it
course
start
not.
as a side hustle? And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was me making the thing I wished existed. It was a definite case of if you build it, they will come.
Right.
There was no question I did not want to, I had no interest in chasing revenue or.
Right.
I just wanted to make a thing that I thought should exist. And I think that authenticity really kind of made it.
So today, what's the most rewarding part of being a YouTube aviation celebrity?
Well, you saw it happen.
Yeah.
That lady came and shook my hand and said, I got my instant rating because I saw you struggle through it. The channel started happening and I started getting a lot of cool opportunities. So a common thing was people would say to me, wow, why is it taking you so long to get it when I didn't have it yet, right? And my answer typically to them was, how many solo T6 landings you got? Right? It's like, I got opportunities and I took them.
Right.
That's why I couldn't just focus on instrument. But I did decide in 2019 to just get it.
I mean, we need to see everything because it's
I mean,
inspiring.
so I think I don't have the chops on right now, ironically, because I was so stressed getting this all done, I forgot to bring my shaver. And it's like, whatever. I just got to get the airplane here.
So, Steve, FlightChops is chopless.
Yeah, you can cut to the logo.
Cut to the logo. No, hey, thanks for taking some time. I know you're very, very busy, so I really appreciate it. Time to check in with Christy and see how her training back home in Texas is going.
Hey everybody. Well, I am so sorry that I couldn't be there with you at OSH this year. As most of you know, I am away at airline training. After a several month-long furlough, my airline has finally called myself and my fellow pilot brethren back. So we are currently going through airline training. What's great about that though is in addition to just being happy to be back, I was able to bid for and get the airplane that I was previously on, the 175. So it's really great. Training is going outstanding. I honestly couldn't be happier. What makes it even better is that my awesome boyfriend, Kevin, has been helping me study. He just happens to be on the same airplane. So that's made life a lot better for me. And the pilot group that I'm studying with, they're just all fantastic. And we are just so grateful and so happy to be back. But that being said, I am definitely missing you guys at OSH. And I'm loving the pictures and videos that you guys are getting. So keep them coming, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Christy. We miss you. And for all of you guys out there, we'll be having another report tomorrow from AirVenture. we're trying to bring you a little bit of taste in case you can't get here. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you guys next time on Taking Off.